Depending on the quality of the lens that you're using, as well as the focal length, you might see some distortion in your image. Typically, this is much more noticeable with a wide-angle lens, and it actually gets worse with the less expensive lenses. So let's take a look at this example. You can see that the lines going across, they're not straight. It almost looks as if the house is kind of bulging towards us. Well, in order to fix that, we're going to scoot over to our lens corrections panel. And in the profile area, I'm simply going to click on the option to enable lens profile corrections. The great thing is that Camera Raw ships with a ton of different profiles for different combinations of lenses and cameras. So you can see down here in the lens profile area that Camera Raw has automatically chosen the make of the lens as well as the model and assigned the profile for me. What it's correcting is listed right down here, the distortion in the lens as well as any vignetting. The reason that Camera Raw was able to apply the correct profile is because it can read the EXIF data in the file, so it knows about the camera and lens that were used to make this image. But you might come across a situation where Camera Raw is not able to find that information. And that might be because of a variety of different reasons. You might be working with a JPEG file, or the original image might have been shot with a point-and-shoot camera that doesn't store that information. If that's the case, you can always come down here and manually change both the distortion as well as the vignetting. So say, for example, if I move the distortion to the left, you can see that we get kind of that barreling look come back. If we move it to the right, that's called pin cushioning, and we go the other direction. Now, since the profile is already creating this, let's just double click to reset that. In the vignetting area, this might be interesting. Even if Camera Raw does enable a lens profile correction for your image, you might actually not like the fact that it removes that vignetting, the darkening down around the edges. If you like that effect, you can tell Camera Raw to ignore that part of the profile and bring back that lens vignetting. Of course, if you wanted to do the opposite, we could go in the other direction and it would lighten those edges even more. So this is just personal taste. It's totally up to you. In order to reset this, again, we'll just double click on the slider and that will reset it to 100. As you get more advanced, you can actually make your own profiles for your specific lens and camera combination using the free Adobe Lens Profile Creator utility, which can be found on labs.adobe.com. Or if you want to look for additional lens profiles, maybe for a more unique lens camera combination, then you can use the Adobe Lens Profile Downloader. But again, that's as you get more advanced, because I think that you'll find for most of the common cameras that are in use today with the common lenses, the profiles will automatically ship with Camera Raw, and you'll simply be able to enable them using the Enable Lens Profile Corrections option.